Hey everybody. Today I have a couple of quick tips for you for masking and reverse masking that I find helpful, and I wanted to share them with you. I'll be making this cute sushi card. Now, when I typically mask, you want to kind of lay out your stamps, but if they are on top of each other, you can't lay the stamps on top of each other and then kind of fix your layout. So I just used the index sheet. So I wanted to place the little sushi bench. And the best way to do that is just take the imaging index sheet and put that down and position the images that are going to be in front of that image on the imaging sheet and then pick them up in your MISTI. Simple, right? That imaging sheet is a tool that can be used for lots and lots and lots of things, but masking is my favorite thing to use it for. Now I will stamp those 3 sushi images that are going to be in front of the sushi bench. And I do know that sushi bench is not the correct word for whatever that little dish is. But let's be honest, it looks like these 3 little pieces of sushi are waiting for the bus on a bench. I just call it like I see it. I'm not making the rules here. These are adorable. I wanted sushi the whole time I was making this card. And if you don't like sushi or you think sushi is gross because you don't want to eat raw fish, I highly recommend getting vegetable sushi. Speaking of food, I just ate some olives, some green olives. And I don't know if you know this, but they have a compound that's identical to catnip in them. And my cat smelled the olives and has now lost her mind and is running around the house at top speed while I'm trying to do this voiceover. She would probably really like sushi. Anyway, I've stamped these a couple of times and I am going to cut them out of my favorite, super inexpensive masking paper, which is in fact low-tack label paper. And I'll make sure I put that in the list below. So much cheaper than regular masking paper, and it works great. Now, after I cut out these masks, I keep them with the stamp set forever because once you've cut it out, why would you go through that trouble again? Be nice to yourself. Keep your masks on the imaging sheet of the stamp set and you'll have them forever, especially if you have a stamp set with the sushi bench that you know you're going to be masking again. Come on, let's treat ourselves well. Now, I love that you get to watch me struggle to take this off the backing. Sorry, the struggle is real though. Now that I have these 3 masked, I will take the sushi bench and I will stamp it on top of it. And masking is one of those things where once you figure it out, after it sort of breaks your brain in the beginning, like what's in the foreground and what's in the background, it's such an easy technique to make your stamps go farther. And I encourage you to do masking whenever and wherever possible. Sushi bench. Look how awesome that is. Now you want to make sure that you have your images far enough down so that you don't have mysterious ghostly floating sushi, because I've done that before masking too. So I just left the same ink on there, just a little bit of ink, enough to cut out the mask with. And then I will cut out the little bench, which is a much easier shape. And once I have this cut out, I'm not going to actually cut out the whole thing. I'm just cutting out the right side because I'm going to put the little soy sauce bottle over there. And so I don't need the entire bench masked off. And then maybe later on when I'm using the whole bench, I can just finish cutting out that mask, but I'll still keep it with the stamp set. So now everything is masked. Now don't make the mistake I make sometimes and take some of the masks off and then forget what's masked and what's not masked. Everything is masked this time. So I will be putting the soy sauce bottle or coconut aminos if you're like me and you can't eat soy. So we'll call it coconut aminos, which are delicious, and I highly recommend that everybody try them. So if I stamp that, now that will be behind both the bench and that rightmost piece of sushi. And now we're going to do something really fun. This is where the reverse masking comes in. Now I'm removing the masks, which I shouldn't have removed that last mask. That was dumb. So now I went and put them back on. stupid. But you know, you don't realize what's going on until you do something like this, or you watch yourself do it on video and you realize how dumb you are. Anyway, I have kept the negative space from the soy sauce bottle, and I'm going to use that as a mask. So that's sort of the reverse masking, and I'm going to stamp into that image that I've masked off the edges of to give it a little pattern. How fun is that? So I have this upside down because it's a big giant background stamp. I won't be stamping it kind of in the corner. I'm going to move it actually partially out of my MISTI. And this is a very fun pattern that I thought would look like that blue and white china that you see in Japanese restaurants a lot. So I have this set up. I actually have the stamp overlapping the hinge of the MISTI just a little bit. I could have moved my paper over further, but why? It's fine. Now the ink that I'll be using is this gorgeous Hero Arts Indigo ink. And before I can do that, I really need to mask off the other parts of the card that I don't want this pattern on, because the entire card wasn't masked, just those images and the images that you can see inside the bottle. So I remasked the sushi and the sushi bench. But I just want to protect the rest of my card and just stamp into that space. So here's the ink. It's stunning. It's perfect for blue and white china. And I'm just straightening this Bold Prints cling just a little bit. I don't want wonky waves. That would not be very zen in Japanese. And I'm just sort of figuring out where on the stamp the image is going to transfer. So I'll ink this up. This is a gorgeous color. This is my favorite Hero Arts blue. And I'll stamp into that bottle. That's so cute. I'll ink it up one more time, but I really don't need to. It even went all the way to the edges. That's the beauty of the masking paper that I use. It's very, very thin. So you can really grab those edges. Look how cute that is. Now I will pull that off and do the big reveal. Take all the masks off, which is the most satisfying thing that you could possibly do. These are the world's most ancient Post-it notes. I've seriously had these for like 20 years. So I pull the negative mask off of that bottle. Look how cute that is. And then remove the other mask for the sushi and the bench. And there you have my little scene. All that's left to do is color it up. So head over to my blog. There's a giveaway over there and some other fun stuff. And thanks so much for watching.